I'm Jess.
And I'm Jenn. We're just two run-of-the-mill casting directors looking to have a little fun while tearing down the curtain on casting, the process, and how the sausage gets made.
So many misconceptions have come from outside sources, so we're here to clear the air and make sure everyone gets a full picture of all that goes into casting your favorite TV shows and films. All the while, we'll be drinking some amazing cocktails and spilling the tea on some of the most outrageous stories we've come across in our careers.
Maybe we'll even bring on a few exciting guests along the way.
Cheers!
Cheers. Good evening. Welcome back to Tipsy Casting for our final episode of season 1.
We can't thank our listeners and all of our guests enough for tuning in and creating an amazing podcast. We've received such good feedback and so many wonderful notes from everyone.
We're so happy that people are enjoying getting to know us and how the casting process works, as well as all the insight every single one of our guests has brought us. While we are wrapping up season 1 and taking a little break over the holidays, we can't wait to be back for season 2 in January.
So grab a cocktail.
Or a mocktail.
And what are you drinking today, Jen?
So I was really excited because I'm at my parents' house for Thanksgiving and they have a whole bar, which I don't have in London. So I had all access to all the different kinds of alcohols. So I Googled a festive cocktail, and I found this. It's now forget. Hold on. Let me. I have to look
Great
it up.
start so far.
I know, Campfire Mule. So it's whiskey, ginger beer, maple syrup, and lemon juice, and then topped off with like marshmallows. You're supposed to like roast the marshmallows, but they don't have like fire. So, but it's actually I tasted it just to make sure I had a good cocktail for our last episode, and it is amazingly good. It's really, really tasty.
Next time we'll invest in the torch for you. You can get the full experience.
Yes. What are you drinking?
I actually, I didn't go festive, but because I'm not quite ready to let go of my London and Dublin adventures, I have made myself a snake bite in a
I have no idea what that is.
In a proper Guinness glass that I have a 4-set that I've acquired over the years from the Oscar Wilde parties. And basically it is cider at the bottom here. And at the top is all Guinness. And so this, I get a little bit of Ireland and England all in the same glass. And so, yes, it's my choice.
Oh, I love it. It's very cool. So does it mix together at some point, or does it kind of stay separated the whole time?
I think at a certain point it starts to pull through when you start sipping.
Oh,
so you get a little bit of sweet and a little bit of the stout, and it's really nice. I like it a lot.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I can't believe we're already done with season 1. I mean, I can't believe it's been 9 months? And a year since we started like talking about this. I mean, how is this still happening?
I know we've said this to each other a lot, but I'm super proud of us for, this whole adventure for us was creating a new set of skills for us. We're not editors. We're not personalities, like on-camera personalities by any means, especially when our profession is very much behind the camera. So to first of all, to like dive into this side of things, but also to sustain it, I think I'm very proud of us.
Yeah. Yeah. What's funny is like I had a note from a friend of mine who listened to our last episode. And he was like, oh, by the way, just so you know, like at the intro, your mic volume was so much different than Jess's. And I was like, yeah, that's because I was literally sitting on my bed at 5 a.m. trying not to wake my roommate up before rushing out of the house to catch a plane. And so I was like trying to be quiet, but still get good audio. And I was like, that's where we're learning. And I mean, I'm really proud of us because like for anyone who doesn't know, we edit all our own episodes. We do all our own audio adjustments. And we had an amazing producer to kind of get us off the ground, which was really helpful. I'm really proud of us for doing all this. And I say this on the podcast all the time, like I'm horrible at technical stuff. So the fact that I do some editing, half
quite
of it.
well. You've done it well.
Yes, and I've learned new things with social media. I'm still not nearly as proficient as you, but yeah, it's been so fun. And honestly, I really am so glad we've done it together, like because I think we balance each other really nicely and it's always so easy, which I was, we didn't know until we started and I get
Yeah.
that feedback from a lot of people that it seems that it's just very easy to listen to. So,
Yeah. I
very
think,
proud.
and I think just from our casting experiences that whether it's this or like an official partnership on the casting side, I feel like I have a little bit of a commitment phobia because of all the things that I've seen in my time. And so the fact that it is, as you said, has been so easy and smooth for the last 9 months and sort of leading up to this point, it just feels really nice. And the fact
Yeah.
that there is some sort of ripple effect that we are creating just in the terms of um, sharing information with people and getting them to feel like they're a bit more in the know, which
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
love.
Yeah, yeah. Which leads us to London. I think we should
Mm.
recap London, because you just got home, my goodness, and you went to Ireland afterwards, which you can tell us all about. But yeah, we got to spend like it was a
A
week,
full
right?
week,
A
yeah.
full week together. One exploring London, seeing shows, meeting agents, meeting actors, and having a meetup.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I think, it was I love London so much, but I feel like having a little bit more time this time around for me, it really uh let me feel how I could thrive there. I could totally understand why you up and moved, honestly. It's such
Yeah.
a great city. It's there, everything is so accessible. The art is so accessible. I know people tend to complain in their own markets of how expensive things get, but if you look at the West End and all those shows, or not even things that are on the West End, and the prices compared to LA and New York, it is night and day. And
Hmm.
I would love to spend so much more time to get, to have more of those opportunities to see the talent that's on stage. But
Yeah. And I
we had a
think the
great time.
talent there is so much more accessible. That's what I
Yeah.
love. Like the amount of people that either we met before or after shows and or just like in the shows and then following up with afterwards. It's just like I feel sometimes in New York, LA, there's that wall of like, oh, trying to like actually meet them and get to know them as people outside of just their performances is a bit more tricky. Where here, you're a queen at it of just like DMing somebody and they're like, oh, that's amazing. Like, let's meet, let's have a coffee, let's do this. And they're all so sweet and so kind. And I
Yeah.
feel like that stigma between casting directors and actors there is maybe not as strong as it is in the
I
States.
do
Or how do you
wonder
feel?
though, like, is that the case because the people reaching out and just trying to connect with them in the UK is maybe not as frequent, so that when
Hmm.
it does happen, they're super excited, versus in the States, there is such a hunger for that networking connection
Hmm.
versus just like that human connection. And
Yeah.
so, it feels very different there. And I don't know what that means exactly.
Yeah. Well, I always say it. It just feels more, like you said, it's more human. It's like, it's when I sit down with actors in the UK, it's not like I immediately feel like they just want something from me, or it's just like, I'm like, if I have something for you, great. But if not, I think they see it more as you and I see it, even with our connections in our world, is that it's more of a long game of like, hopefully 5 years from now, we'll still be like doing great work together. And if it's not tomorrow, maybe in a couple months or something like that. And that's where I think it's not so much pressure going into a meeting, or even just having a coffee or, meeting somebody at a stage door. I think it's all just very chill. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they, again, part of me is like, I kind of wish I went through drama school or something there because I don't know if that's what like ingrained into them in school,
Yeah.
that it's more, about the art rather than getting ahead or, using your relationships. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so happy you liked it.
Yeah. So just to give folks a recap, so I landed on a Wednesday at like 3 p.m. I
Mhm.
hustled my ass all the way to Jen's,
Yep.
quickly showered, and we went straight to the Bridge Theater to go see Guys and Dolls.
Hmm.
And
And we
it
made it with
was
2 minutes to spare.
just enough time to get a carafe of wine.
Wine.
And that is a consistent theme, if you weren't following along on our social media, that we drank our way through London for the entire week.
And we did really good.
We did. It didn't get messy at all, which I was very surprised and proud of us.
Yes.
But yeah, so we went to go see Guys and Dolls. If you haven't seen it and you're in London, go see it. It is a party. It is so much fun. The cast is phenomenal. It is, I mean, I had the best time.
Yeah, and they've done such cool work with the stage. And I think it's playing through like February. So if anybody's in London and hasn't seen it, please go and see it, because it's like the stage comes up and moves. Like they move the standing room only audience on the floor around the stages when they pop up and down, so that each like the diner's in a different part of the stage that comes up out of the ground, and then you have the church part that's in a different area. And so it's really inventive, whoever created that.
It's a really incredible, like living, breathing, engaging show that you feel like you. I was telling Jen's heard this story a number of times, but last time I went to London, I tried to do this whole shebang as well of going right off the plane to go see a matinee of a show. And I went to go see a very dialogue heavy show that was also a very heavy show. And I fell asleep halfway through it. But I was terrified of having the same problem this time around. But like it was such a blast. You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed the entire time because you're having so much fun. And by the end of it, it's straight up a dance party.
Yeah. And you're up in your seat, you're dancing. Like, and I was impressed because we had a carafe of wine, and then we were with an agent who bought us another drink at interval, and we were still like dancing and having fun, and it was a great old time.
But I did sleep very well that night.
Yes. And then the next day, you're gonna have to remind me. It's been too long.
The next day we met with some agents that I've known for years. And we had a lovely coffee. We had a very late lunch.
Yes.
And what did we do that evening? I can't remember.
We went to see Backstairs Billy.
That was that night.
That's that night.
Right, with Luke Evans.
That was Luke Evans, Penelope Wilton. Didn't really, again, it was quite funny. We walk in and didn't really, I don't think I knew what it was about, other than it had to do with the Queen Mother. But it was really funny. And there are live corgis, which was amazing.
Yes. Oh my God, it was so much fun. They didn't, again, we talk about this to ourselves, but they underused the corgis. We really wanted more corgi.
Yes. And they should have come out for the final bow, which they didn't, which was disappointing. But I think we should tell our funny story. And if we don't want it in there, we can cut it out. But
our friend that we made?
We made a friend at interval. It was really hilarious. We went out to get a glass of wine and at interval, and this woman was behind us who just struck up a conversation on her own. I think she started with you, Jess, because I was not paying attention. And she is a massive Luke Evans fan.
To say the least, yes. She was telling us how she took the train up for, I think, 3 hours, and that she has purchased 12 tickets for 12 different performances of the same show just to see him. And it was something else.
And then she was like, "Are you guys going to the stage door?"
Yeah.
No.
Like, he's wonderful, but I don't have that much commitment in me.
Yeah. So, yes. That was interesting.
Oh, and then before we went to see the show, we went to Spotlight and we checked out their new digs, which is this beautiful space.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. They had just moved in, I think like 2 days prior, because there were still boxes and we got to see all the studios, and like, I can't wait to have like my first big enough job to where I can use their space for all my auditions and stuff, because
they even have a nice little recording booth. It looks primarily for VO, but we can definitely record an episode out of there.
I don't know. I'm a little bit claustrophobic. And it was really tight. Like, we both stood in it, and I was just like, oh, I think I need air.
Just don't close the door.
Yeah.
No, but those VO booths are typically that size. So that's it's not that unconventional. Just, it's not our forte. Yeah. Well,
if you're in that area near Leicester Square, check them out, because it's so, like, their new space is absolutely stunning. I have to admit, it's really beautiful. So
and one of our mutual friends was talking about how what was he saying that Chris was saying that if you get an office, make sure it has a waiting room, and that's
Yes.
one thing that Spotlight has in spades now is a real comfortable place for the actors to sit and to have some space and quiet time.
Yeah.
So definitely something to look forward to.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Friday, what did we do? We had another meeting with an agent.
Yes.
Or you, well, no, we met Rupert in the morning.
Oh,
We met an
yes.
actor in the morning that Jess knows, who was lovely. And then we,
I went over to 42.
Yep, you met with 42. I had to run and do
Yes.
a personal appointment. So I missed out on the 42 excitement because we love our ladies over there. Elle was on our podcast. So,
Yes.
and then we had another late lunch.
Oh.
As Jess takes a drink. And then what did we do after that? I'm trying to remember. I feel like we had an appointment somewhere in
I
central
don't
London.
know. That was not Dear England night, was it?
No, that was, we went out for a nice dinner. And then we ended up at the How to Have Sex after party.
We did. That was that night.
That was that night.
Yes, that's right. It's all coming back. Guys, there was a lot of alcohol involved. The nights sort of blur together.
Yes. Definitely enjoyed our alcohol on this trip. And it's funny, I told you, this is the hilarious thing, because it's not that I'm like overly indulgent, but like I tend to drink a decent amount in my normal life. And then moving to London, and also living in LA, especially in Hollywood, it is a very drink culture. Like you meet an agent, you meet an actor, it's usually for a drink, or you're going to a party and it has drinks and things like that. And so you kind of tend to be a part of that culture. And then I moved to London and none of my friends drink. I am the only drinker. So I've become somewhat of a lightweight, a little bit.
You handled it well.
Yeah. But that was exciting having somebody else there who wanted to drink with me. I was all pumped for it.
It's definitely part of our brand now, unfortunately, for whoever it is.
Yeah, it was pretty wild going to that after party though, because it was apparently, neither of us knew this at the time, but it was at something called Tiger. That is for like 18-year-olds, not for normal adults. And they had blow up pool things, and I got a bit drunk that night, let's be real, and I stole some decor from their after party for Tipsy Casting.
We're just gonna throw it away anyway.
Exactly.
So.
All that stuff just gets thrown away. So I feel like I'm repurposing it for a better thing.
Yes. And it was such a small world because we ran into one of our faves, Chope Dirasu.
Yes.
At the party.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really a fun sort of culmination of the fact one person that we keep talking about in some respect.
Yeah.
And then he was standing right behind me.
Yes. I looked right over your shoulder and I was like, hey, because earlier that day we had met with your friend who also went to theater school with him. So he keeps coming up in conversation, and it was one of those very kismet moments where you're like, wait a minute, we've been talking about you for months, because we had Corin Hardy on, who directed him and did Gangs of London with him, who had just the best things to say. And then even crazier, I found out after the fact, our very first guest, Chris Chung from Slow Horses, the new season of Slow Horses, I think, comes out next week. So everyone tune into Apple and watch him on it.
Wait, is this a spoiler?
No.
Is it not?
No, it's out there that Slow Horse is coming back, and he's in all the trailers. But Chope is in the third season of Slow Horses.
That was my question. Is that the spoiler?
No, he's in every trailer.
I haven't seen a single trailer yet, so that's on me.
Oh, no, he's in all of it. So I was like, man, this guy just keeps like circling our universe, and then he shows up at this after party. And then you also ran into your other lovely Toheeb.
Oh yeah, Toheeb Jimo.
Yes.
Ted Lasso.
Yes,
Also,
it was cool.
Yeah, all of the Ted Lasso folks are circling as well, because we met one of the other gals, Keely. I don't remember her last name, but she plays the other Rebecca in Ted Lasso. But it was so wild and fun. And then I think the next night is when we went to Dear England with Joseph Fiennes, and we met a couple of the wonderful cast members that are repped by 42. Mm-hmm. And it was great. That show is phenomenal, and the way that they have it staged is as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely tell it's a national theater show. Like it came from there. It's very cool.
I've never been to the National, so I can't say
Um,
that.
you're not cool, Jess.
No, but I aspire to
Next time.
be one day. One day.
Next time we're going.
Yes.
But yeah, and that was amazing because we got to chat to a couple of the actors afterwards. And yeah, such a great show. And then we did something that night.
I don't remember.
I should like pull up my calendar as we're
I'm looking at my
talking.
calendar and I can't see what it was. But then
Oh my
the next
goodness.
day was our meetup.
Yes, 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 yes. It was amazing. Oh my goodness. Um, sorry, let's see. We met Chris that day too.
In the morning.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So in the morning, Chris Chung, who's a great friend of both of ours, he met us for brunch and we got to catch up with him. And even though all of us were a little slow that morning.
We were little slow horses. That's what it was.
Good pun.
Do what I can.
Yeah, we did that, and then also then after Dear England, you met up with another friend of yours who is Scottish, I believe.
Yes. Also on the show. The Slow
Yeah,
Horses show.
yes. And
There's a theme here.
there's a theme. Why do these things keep coming into our lives? I wonder. But yeah, and then the next day was our meetup. So let's talk about our meetup because it was so good. Thank you to everyone who came out. It was so fun. We met at Brewdog near Tower Hill, and as per usual, I was like, I'll be happy if 5 people show up, and we had probably 75 people come, which especially for the UK on a Sunday in London is pretty impressive, I think.
Sunday morning, no less. It was
Sunday
like
morning.
11:30, I think we started.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
very unconventional, I think, for Brewdog because the first thing that I ordered there were 2 shots, one of tequila, one of whiskey at 11 a.m.
Yes.
And I asked them kindly not to judge us, but who knows? But in tradition, we took our shots and we greeted our guests, and it was so wonderful because I think there was a real excitement for it, and on both sides.
Yeah, honestly, it was very refreshing because I feel like we were all kind of hit that point where we're so tired of not being together due to the strike and everything and all the work just being so slow and again I feel like especially being in the UK, I don't think a lot of actors or people over there realize that how much the strike was going to affect our work over there. A lot of people were thinking it was just affecting the US. So when we were there and I started chatting to people and I'm like, no, 80% of production has been shut down during the strike in the UK. It's not you. Like, it's just always nice to know that you're not alone. And that was very, very encouraging chatting to everybody and being able to kind of like at least share my experience with the strike and whatnot.
Yeah, no, and I think it was just also that connection is what I've learned in that process is very rare to have those in-person, no pressure experiences in London with casting directors specifically. And so it was very interesting because like that dynamic, I felt like people were just eager to listen and to take in as much as possible. And they were so grateful for the opportunity to connect. And so it was a very fulfilling and gratifying experience. And I learned about a new drink, which now I've seen on a number of menus when I went to Ireland, called the Porn Star Martini.
Oh gosh.
Apparently it's huge over there. I didn't know that.
It's also, I feel like the crowd at Tiger would be very into that.
I was really motivated, or not motivated, but I was keen on maybe making it for today's episode, but then I looked up the recipe and there's way too many things involved. So I figured a future episode down the road, we'll try it out.
I love that. Yeah. And I think, again, it's so funny because in LA, when we did our meetup in August, it went for about 6 hours. And I was like, there's no way this one's going to go that long. And we were there for 5 hours. And it was amazing. I think it could have kept going, honestly, if we wanted it to, but
we just didn't have the stamina to go.
We didn't, and we were so hungry.
Oh yeah.
Because that morning on our way to the meetup, Jess had her very first bun from home, which is a huge London thing. So that was all we had eaten all day.
Yes. And that was
So,
delicious, but not enough for an entire
yes.
day's worth of talking.
Yes.
But then I had
Which
my first
then
roast.
yes, you got to have your first Sunday roast, which has become one of my favorite things since moving to London.
Rightfully
And
so. It's so delicious.
okay, good. I was going to say,
It
what's
was
your
funny.
review?
I can't remember the name of the place that we went to, but the way that when we asked, like, do you have a Sunday roast? The way that he answered, it was like maybe they did, but they didn't do it often or something. It was very unsure. And so I was unsure and changed when I ordered it. But like the final thing, delicious.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Yeah. And then because they stopped serving food at like 5 p.m. for some reason, which I still don't quite understand, um, we ended up at a pub near my house for sticky toffee pudding, which is one of my favorite desserts.
It was delicious.
It was amazing.
Mm.
Yeah. I miss it. I've only been home a week and I'm like, I miss it. I'll be back in a week. Don't worry. No.
Come back for your sticky toffee pudding.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
then Monday, what did we do on Monday? Let's look at our calendars.
We had
we
dinner
had
with
lunch
Rupesh.
yes. Well, we had lunch with Sophie Holland
Yes.
and then dinner with Rupesh.
Yes. One of my wonderful producers from Willow. And
Mhm.
so delightful. You guys are going to drink whiskey together in the future. It'll be
Yes.
great.
Very excited to find another whiskey lover. Because I will say, I don't think the British are really that into whiskey.
What are they into? Gin?
Gin.
Yeah.
Gin and vodka seems to be a top thing. But
Mm.
went to a great Italian restaurant. And then and seeing Sophie was great. And that was when we kind of maybe started to think that things were picking up. She made us believe that work was on the horizon.
Fingers
She's a
crossed.
good spirit to be around. She's always very hopeful and very sweet to be around. So huge fans of hers. And then Tuesday you taught a class.
I did. And that was wonderful. It's been a minute since I've taught. It was really lovely just to see the talent. And I had the fear because it's been so long. I walked into that class thinking, am I going to know how to direct anybody? Like, have I forgotten how to do that? But it, just like riding a bicycle, came right back to me, and we had a lot of fun, and yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what we did that night.
We had plans, but they fell through
Mm-hmm.
with some of our other casting friends.
But I feel like we went out with somebody else, though, didn't we? Didn't we make something up? And yes.
Oh, Nikesh. Was that night?
Oh,
And we
yeah,
met
yes.
Dara
from Dear England.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had an adventure.
And then we went out with Aletha that night. That's where we went to Soho Greek House and we had dinner, and that was amazing. And a very good friend of mine who also, exciting news, is kind of, there's a Deadline article about it, and it's a bit misconstrued maybe, but it's the first producer I've worked with who, because casting comes on so early on in the process to attach actors and get their movies financed and everything, she and I become really good friends over the process, and she's going to now give me producer credit on all her films that I help get financed due to cast. So that was very exciting, and I'm so glad you got to meet her because she is one of the most beautiful humans I know. And
she just got an award, right?
She did. Oh my gosh, congratulations, Aletha. She won a Woman of the Future award.
Wow.
And she was telling, I can't remember if it was with you or just me after the fact, but she was like, if she won, like all the previous winners go on to be like Ava DuVernay, like all the Shonda Rhimes, like all these huge, massive powerhouse people. It just kind of sets you up. And on top of that, one of her films got into the BFI. I wish I knew the name of it. I'm sorry, Aletha, but it's like where during the film festival they got to pitch one of their scripts to they pretty much, BFI gathers all the investors and all the studios and says, pitch your scripts because we believe in them. And so they just got financing, another co-producer and financing for one of their films. And so she is just like killing it. And I'm really proud.
That's amazing. That's the thing. I feel like the one thing that you learn in this industry is you surround yourself with people that will elevate you. And like, she's one of those people, you're one of those people. And I think that that's the thing of like, we gotta surround ourselves with the right people and pull each other up. And
Mm-hmm.
that's, when you find those people, you hang on for dear life.
Yes, yes. And she and I met in the most random way where, I mean, she had seen one of my films in Sundance last year and loved the casting. And so she cold called me and she was like, we have this really small film, but it has like, I mean, it was like $300,000. It was not much. And now it's probably going to end up in the film festivals right now. And it's kind of turning out to be a little bit of a darling. But I honestly, as much as I love that film, I can't say that. I mean, I actually think my relationship with Aletha is more important to me. Like, she has
Yeah.
been such a rock for me moving. Like, we knew each other during that process and then became friends after, prior to me ever even considering moving to the UK. And then when I moved there, she's just been like my rock the entire way. So, yeah, I can't. I was like, thanks God for that amazing relationship.
Yeah, it's so important. I think that that's incredible to have for sure, especially when you're uprooting your life and starting anew. So
Hmm.
good
Hmm.
on you, good on her. It's,
Yes, and I'm glad you got to
only,
meet her. We had a great time chatting, and she's such a sweetheart. So,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
She's great.
Okay.
What
So
else?
then you had to wake up the next morning super early. I
Yeah.
wished you adieu from the door. So how was Ireland? Tell me about Ireland. Was it
It was
amazing?
gorgeous. It was definitely more low key than our gallivanting around London, but it was the perfect balance. I stayed with Emma Gunnery, who is a very wonderful and talented casting director in Dublin. She has also the most wonderful dog, Nikki, who kept me sane of not being with my pups. And
Oh,
her mother's amazing too. I got to meet her mom.
oh,
Yeah, so we did a little bit of everything. We didn't get to see any shows because it was sort of in that space as it was in London.
you got to see a comedy show, didn't you?
Yes, the comedy I did get to see, which was fantastic. It was
Good.
very funny. But I didn't make it to the Abbey or to the other. I can't remember the name of the theater, but we didn't because it was that spot in the schedule that one
Mm.
week that I was in town that they didn't really have anything playing in the theater. So
Mm.
I didn't get to do that. But we had a lot of wonderful meals. We went to Johnny Fox's, which is like the highest in elevation pub in Dublin or
Oh,
maybe in
that's
all of
cool.
Ireland, I think. This scenery is just stunning. It really like rejuvenates me.
Yeah.
And you just feel very different, I think, or at least I do when I'm there.
Yeah. You know what's
Um,
really interesting is, have you ever heard of this concept called grounding?
no.
It's like where you take your shoes off and you go and stand barefoot in like the grass. So you
Mhm.
feel connected to the earth. And that's how I feel Ireland makes you feel, because you
Yeah.
feel like you have such nature and everything around you that it just like grounds you to your core of like, oh, you're like this small speck in the universe, which, not to
Yeah.
get philosophical, but I feel like that country has that effect
Oh
on you
yeah.
and me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We drove all the way up, which was a comedy of errors in itself, but we drove through Belfast. We were there for just a couple of hours and then we went all the way up to Giant's Causeway. And talk about something that makes you feel like a tiny speck in the grand scheme of things. Giant's Causeway is the most monumental, most stunning thing that I've ever seen. And your brain tries to understand how something like that was created and it just can't quite place it, but it really it's so worth the trip, or at least it was for me. I think it's
Yeah.
something you have to see. But it was so beautiful. And Emma makes fun of me, but on the way to Giant's Causeway I asked her if we would be able to pet a cow. She just laughed so hard at me. I was like, a cow or a sheep? And I think it's because Instagram has given me a false sense of security when it comes to farm animals. But we did not get to pet them, but we did see a number of cows, sheep, and horses, which was very
Mm.
exciting. But yeah, I just love Ireland so much. I'll eventually just up and move,
Yeah.
probably. I don't
Love
know
that.
when, but it'll happen.
I love that.
Yeah.
We need to, you know, my plan for you. We're going to find you a husband so you can get dual citizenship. Bring you over.
Listen, anyone listening is interested? I'm ready to go. Single and
DM.
ready.
JShermy.casting.
As long as you
Oh, I
ship my
love
dog over, I'm ready. Just
it.
sign me up.
Hey, you can do that. I'm a part of so many expat groups that the majority of the topics are how to ship your animals across the sea. So,
Yes. As long as it's not involving cargo, I'm ready to go.
yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. I love it. Oh, that's amazing. And now you're back home, back to
Yes.
reality.
Sadly.
But at least the strike's over.
Yes. We wait until they ratify, but yes, nobody else is
Yes.
picketing at the moment. And I feel like people are I've started to see CSA posts of looking for staff, so that means somebody's working.
Yep.
And now it's we
Not
start
us.
looking.
Not other people.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yes, our
Yeah.
time will come.
Yeah, but I
No,
think I'm getting ready at least for like the projects that I'm attached to that I haven't been able to touch in 9 months because of the strike, or 9 months, 8 months, 7 months, something like that. But
yeah.
whatever it is, it's at least I'll be able to start working in some capacity, even though money may not be coming in yet.
Yeah.
I can start getting creative at least.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I honestly feel like at least attitudes have shifted where it's like people are not nearly as depressed or angry or, whatever way you swing on the pendulum. But like, it's like people are very hopeful and are like, okay, I do think it's going to be interesting though, because I feel like so many people I talk to, especially in the States, are always like, oh, there's gonna be like this burst of work. And I don't think there is. I don't think there's gonna be like this massive, like everybody's been writing and doing all this stuff that like now all this stuff is gonna get made. I think it's gonna go quite stingy because of how little money people have.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the burst that might happen is more of like everybody trying to figure out the schedules of things that are already on the slate and that maybe got interrupted. So maybe for actors there might be a big boom, but production wise, I don't know how immediate that boom's going to happen.
Yeah, but even the amount of cancellations, like every day I feel like I wake up in deadlines announcing some other cancellation of this show, that show. And it's like, or it's like last season that people didn't know about or things like that, that I think it's going to be a massive pullback on
I
jobs.
thought we were staying hopeful.
I know. It is. Okay, let's not talk about that anymore.
Oh my goodness.
You're right. Positive.
Listen, things will, whatever direction the pendulum will swing in. The bottom line is that things are going to move again. There will be opportunities.
Yes.
It's going to be a little bit of, fighting for your dinner.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're all used to already. At least we are.
And I'm hopeful that maybe this creates a better space for indies, like because the studios will have to pull back on what they're doing. I'm hoping that is where I am hopeful that indies will then eventually get like kind of some more space to grow instead of kind of the pattern we had fallen into before the strike. So fingers crossed on that because I love indies.
Yes, and hopefully the independent investor and financier will, open up their purse strings a little bit. We'll see what happens. But, I think anything is possible. We have to stay optimistic and keep the hustle going. And, hopefully we've built enough of a support system within our own communities that when the right thing happens, it'll find us. I have a movie that's out on video on demand. It can be found on Apple, I believe.
Okay, what is it called? You can promote yourself.
Your lucky day. But the point is that my director, Dan Brown, like it's been so refreshing because he's been so vocal, like him, and then the film that I had come out right before this with my directors, Ari Costa and Aaron Chalabolo, like those filmmakers for me, as much shit as I've had in the last several years of like lack of loyalty and like just disinterest in spotlighting different department heads, these last couple of experiences that I've had have been so refreshing and so beautiful. And they're being as vocal about me as like we would all aspire to have our filmmakers be, that you really have hope that these people, when they get their break, they'll push for you. And so I'm starting to that's my hopefulness for the new year, is that I of course, no matter what, want these people to succeed because they're incredibly talented and kind, but I finally feel like I've found the people that will fight for me.
Yes.
And so that is my hopefulness for next year.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Because we've kind of seen a downward trend of people willing to fight. But again, this is where, I mean, not to toot our own horn, but I do feel like we're doing some good in the world with our podcast, because it's like, I do think we're at least raising awareness that we're the ones left in the dust somehow, where we put all this effort, we work for free, we make all these relationships, and then somehow we're the first people cut when they're like, no, we want you to go work for Francine Maisler, or we want you to work with Francine Maisler or whatnot. And they're like, okay. They're like, no, I gave like 3 years of my life to getting your indie made.
Yeah.
And so that's amazing that you have those relationships to kind of like reinvigorate your faith into like people being in your corner.
Yeah. And I think that that's something that I would like to use this as a platform, not just with casting directors, because I do see it happening with other department heads, that like people just don't get their shot. And so when we stumble upon those peoples and those and people that are having those experiences, like, let's do whatever we can to spotlight them, because I think that's the only way that we break out of this vicious cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do believe, as long as we do this, I think you and I will both be on the same page of like giving underrepresented voices a platform,
Yeah.
of some sort, to at least like say their piece and get their voice out there of like what's actually happening. Because as much as we know it's happening in casting, I'm sure it's happening in other areas as well,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But there's so much to do in the next year, and we're really excited. We have all sorts of ideas, and that we're excited to share once we get things in line a bit more. But yeah, I feel like this season went off really well.
I know. Okay, so big question.
Yes.
What was your favorite moment?
Oh,
Putting you on the spot.
I think this is bad. I'm like, everything was so wonderful. Hold on, I need a little bit of a refresher. I think, first of all, I loved our episode with Corin. I actually really, one of my faves, I think, was with Charlene and Claire. Honestly, I think
it was
fun. It was so fun to be in person with the four of us, which is a little bit of a shit show, not gonna lie, in the best possible way. But that was a blast. But also just like getting to hear them talk about their experiences and like the success that they've been able to have with Beef. That was great. And I can't wait for the Emmys for them. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. What's so crazy? So producer I worked with a few years ago, like pre-COVID, so more than a few years, but COVID time makes it feel much shorter. But she was posting, because she knows some beef producers and whatnot, and she posted some pictures and she tagged Claire and Charlene on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know them.
Oh, I love that,
because they've been doing a bunch of like FYC events and stuff. So
that's amazing. Yeah. I will say, as shitty as the strikes have been and all of that jazz, I will say that the fun thing to finally get to see is that they're now putting casting directors on panels because they have no actors.
Yes.
And so like Lindsay Weissmuller, she went and she did the Persian version panel for the different, like she did it for FYC. She did it for all those things. So it's to be able to give our folks a voice, and because I always found that so fascinating. Have you ever been to the Deadline Contenders event?
No, it seems so overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. I went when it was I don't know if it's in person now.
I think it is.
It's happening right now, I think. But I went right before COVID happened. I went that year to the Contenders event, and only one director, I think Milena, she directed Queen and Slim. I can't remember her name right now, but she was the only director that acknowledged her casting director by name.
Wow.
Or just acknowledge the casting director. And there was not a single casting director on any of the panels. And there were like 50 panels in a matter of one day. So I think it's so exciting to see that. And I hope it doesn't disappear now that everybody can go back. I just don't understand the unwillingness to have casting directors on panels. They should be there. They're an integral part of the process. But yeah, so that's, I think, the one sort of silver lining of the downtime for the actors and the writers is that they invited us.
Yeah. And honestly, if you remember the day we recorded Charlene and Claire's episode, Charlene was on a panel because I rode with her, and I was like waiting at her house for her because I like walked over because I didn't have a car from where I was staying. I was just like sitting at her house in like heat, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, my panel ran long." And so I was so excited though. And she was telling me all about it on our drive over to your house about how cool it was to kind of be up there and be at. She's like, "I was prepared for all these questions, and they asked me like the one question I didn't prepare for." But she's like, and
Always.
it's well, and it was the funniest question because she was like, I said, "How did you cast this show?" And it's like the dumbest question to ask a casting director because it's almost like, "How did you direct this movie? How did you produce this movie?" Like it's just like it's such a general question, which again leads to our podcast of like what we actually do. It's not just like, "Oh yeah, I just called up the phone and picked this one actor out one day and then moved on." No, we went through like hundreds of actors. We auditioned everybody, went through all these different. I mean, it's one of my two favorite episodes.
Yeah, no, it was they were great. And I think also my other fave was Sam Hargrave because it was such an education for me because I thought he just was plopped into directing after spending all this time being a stunt coordinator and a stunt man. And it was such an eye-opening thing to see, you know, this is something that he's been striving towards since day one, and he just took a different path to get there. And I think that that's such a great lesson for people who are listening is that there's no one way to what it's a horrible expression, but there's no one way to skin a cat. Is that the thing? I hate that expression, but it's true in this industry that there's no one path to get to the end game. And the end game is constantly changing as this industry evolves. So I think it's really inspirational to see somebody get to where they've been striving, like what they've been striving towards, but also to see that you can embrace all sorts of different aspects and different paths along the way.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. He was lovely.
Reminiscing along the way.
I know.
But to sort of touch on what you were saying of like the thing that nobody knows how to ask us questions because nobody knows what we do. I think that's, you know, we sort of like touched on it in our first season here, but I think we're definitely going to dive in deeper. In season 2 of like really giving people a real understanding of our day to day and what our process looks like and how that can change from casting director to casting director, because it also depends on which office you grew up in, and that could be different from person to person. So
yeah. No, I agree, because that's been one feedback from like personal friends of mine who listen to the podcast. They're like, because it is quite hilarious. Even my parents are like, "We don't really get what you do." It's cool, but like we don't really understand it. And it's like a ton of my friends have said the same thing. They're like, "You guys talk about it a lot." And I think we've opened up that door that I think now especially in season 2, we're going to dive deeper into just like the nitty gritty of like what casting directors even do, because I think on every aspect of this industry it will help people to understand. So one, we don't get asked stupid demands anymore where you're just like, which my favorite mug of yours is like, what, Jennifer Lawrence is not doing your short film or whatnot. Because even just like recently I had an indie come to me just after the strike, and they're like, "So yeah, we were really thinking Andrew Garfield." And I was like, "Their budget is under $1 million." I was like,
you're like, God. I think about Andrew Garfield a lot too.
That's how they opened the conversation with me. And I was just like, because you don't want to be like, you don't want to laugh and be just like, you're so out of reach in your situation. But yeah, so I'm really excited for that too. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got? Not that we could talk forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing for the holidays then?
Not a lot, actually. I'm actually really glad that I took my little trips before December hit, because I'm going to be, Thanksgiving is always a bit of a shit show for me. And then for the holidays, like the Hanukkah, Christmas, all of that fun stuff, New Year's, My family is abandoning me. And my parents are
Lame.
going for a month on vacation, during which time I watch their dogs and their business.
Mm.
So not a whole lot. And then my
So all of our listeners should send you booze to get you through.
I'll definitely be drinking, that's for sure. And then my sister is also leaving for a week and a half, I think, for New Year's. They're going to Mammoth, and so I'm watching her dog as well. So in that time, I'm
Wow.
going to have 5 dogs, running a full-time business, and who knows what else, just drinking myself to oblivion in the evenings. So if anybody wants to talk to me during that time, I'm gonna be
Yes.
around.
Maybe we should do some live Q&As, or what are they called, those thingy where you ask and answer?
Yeah, those are it.
What
Live Q&A.
is it called a live Q&A?
Like-
Why did I think? Oh,
like
ask
an
me
Insta-
anything. Ask
Oh,
me
an
anything. That's what I was
AMA?
thinking. I was like, it's not called that. I know that.
Yeah. Do you like an Instagram live AMA?
Yes, you could totally do one if you wanted. I mean, I'm not saying you have to, but if you're bored.
Listen, if enough people say they'd like that, I will do it.
Yes,
But
yes.
I'll be around.
I know.
What about
I
you,
know.
Jen?
Well, as I said, so I'm at my parents' house in Denver for for Thanksgiving, which I think I talked about in one of the last episodes of our crazy shit show of a day, but it's the best fun. I mean,
It's a
we just by
positive
the end.
shit show.
Yes, yes. It's so nice being back. And this year too, my cousins who I adore are coming into town. They're probably like my closest cousins that I've grew up with, and they're coming in with their families. And so it's gonna be a full house. I think my mom's freaking out a little bit. Uh, she keeps talking about, because it's supposed to be cold here, and she's like, "What are we gonna do with everyone? We're all gonna be stuck inside." So she went and bought like the kids like Thanksgiving coloring books and stuff today, so that they'd have activities to do.
Board
But
games.
yeah, well, we're huge. We're actually a huge card playing family. We love the game Euchre. If you've ever heard of that.
Nope.
That and Trivial Pursuit, which I will say, when I'm home, because I know my family plays when I'm not here, but when I'm home, I am the reigning champ twice of Trivial Pursuit. So we'll do that. And then I head back to London at the end of the month. And then December's gonna be interesting because I feel like London turns into like this Christmas wonderland type thing. So I'm really excited. A bunch of friends and I have plans to go visit all the Christmas markets and do all that kind of thing. I never come home to my parents' house for Christmas. I haven't since my early 20s. I usually am traveling. This year I think I'm going to be moving house, so I think I'll probably be kind of focusing on that. But then sweet Christopher Chung, who we keep talking about, has invited me over for New Year's Eve to their house for a party. So I'll probably go do that, because this is actually a really cute story. After you left, we joke all the time because we never somehow get a picture with him. We meet up. I see him at least once a month. And somehow we have never, not once in our entire friendship, taken a photo together. Even when you were there, we were like, we got to remember to take a picture. We don't. So he and I went out to celebrate the end of the strike when that got announced. And I remember to take a picture of my champagne glass. I didn't take a picture of us. So, but then I was joking because he had texted me. He's like, hey, him and his wife were thinking about having this party and I was invited. And I was like, great. And I invited our mutual friend, Leo. And I was like, you can be my date, man. Like we'll go and like have a good time. And they should meet anyway. But it was just funny because he was giving me a hard time the night because he's like, you never responded to my text. So he's like, now the invitation's been rescinded. I'm like, whatever. I know where you live.
I will show up with a bottle.
Exactly. So those are kind of my plans. I mean, if for some reason, I can travel somewhere, like, Content London is happening at the end of this month. And a lot of my production friends from the States are going to be in London. So one of my friends is like, maybe we'll go to Paris for a day. And I was like, that would be fun because you can just take the Eurostore over and see the Christmas goodness over there.
You'll meet Melanie in person, or I guess you've already met her a second time.
More in depth, because she came to our first meetup in LA and I got to speak to her briefly, but yeah, that was a bit of a crazy day. So this will be a little bit more intimate, not 150 people or however many showed up.
Yeah. No, that'll be great. That'll be really nice. And also, it'll let you ground yourself in London a bit more during the
Yes.
holidays, is I'm sure very
Yes.
magical.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be
Because I do
nice
love
for you.
Christmas. And I've been in London for Christmas before, and it's absolutely beautiful. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. And I have such a good group of friends that I know I'm not worried. Everyone's like, you're going to be alone, Jen. I'm like, no, I won't. Never
It'll be
alone on Christmas.
fine. No, it'll be great. It'll be
Yeah.
nice, and you'll get yourself a mulled wine,
Ugh, many.
many mulled wines. And yeah, just FaceTime me, and we'll drink mulled wine together, just
Yes.
virtually.
Yes. And I have a couple shows I'm seeing in London, which is I'm very excited about. So
Yeah, I'm very
it's a good
jealous.
month.
I'm gonna be jealous of all your theater experiences. You went to go see Sunset Boulevard without me.
Oh my gosh, I did. It was so good. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And I felt so bad responding to your text because you're like, how was it? And I was like, do I tell her honestly? Because I don't want to make you feel bad for missing it.
Well, too late.
It was so good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous. Wow. That's something to look forward to. I'd like to go back and do
Yeah.
London and Ireland again in like June, May, June.
Okay.
I'm trying to get Amanda to come too.
Ooh,
Be an
fun.
adventure. She's a good drinking buddy too.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. We did Sundance pretty well.
I love it. I love it. Oh, how fun. How fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. And can we say this? I don't know. You can edit it out if we don't. But hopefully in the next month our Lady Gang episode comes out.
Yes.
Now that the strike is over.
We had a great episode on Lady Gang. We're super excited. It was so much fun.
Yeah. They're so easy to chat to, honestly, for people we didn't even really know too well. I knew of them. I don't know them personally. You know one of them better than me.
I mean, even Becca Tobin, like I've auditioned her a couple of times over the years, but like we became sort of friendly via Instagram after Jamie Lynn Siegler did my Coffee with Casting. And because they're really good friends.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, they're just like, it's so fun. We aspire to do what Lady Gang has done with their podcast, but like, it's so fun. And they seem like they have a great time, just like a good relationship too. So we're excited for everybody to hear that.
And I think, so we play this game with them where we recast films of old with new actors. And I think it's something maybe we should consider after their episode, because I don't want to steal their idea.
Yeah.
Our episode will come out. It'll be great. But I think we should almost do it in season 2 where we start recasting certain things or whatnot. Because I think that was really fun to kind of get the juices flowing of like, who do we like for old school roles,
But I will say it was really eye-opening how those really iconic films and characters, like those actors they're not replaceable, and I think that speaks so much to that sort of generation of movie star that I don't know that, like, we have a very small handful of movie stars now. And so I think that was a really big challenge when they were like, these are potential questions we might ask or whatever it is. Like that was like really intimidating because I just thought like, wow, that's really hard. It's really hard, but fun, but hard.
Yes. So true. And honestly, I think, like, spoiler alert, we won't say who we chose, but I know they brought up Kevin Costner. We had to recast Kevin Costner in something. And that, to me, that was my biggest stumble because I was like, there is no one like him anymore. Like, that's it. Like, you don't get that. Like, and I think I even said it on the podcast. I was like, there is no one like him. They don't make men like him anymore. Like, it's such a different breed of how you are raised and what who you are as a person. But
also just like sort of that level of grit that that he embodies is, I think very few people have, because even though he's charismatic, like, it's not an overwhelming amount of charisma because I think the grit outweighs the charisma. Is that weird to say?
Yes. I have a great question for you. I just thought of it. So next season, because we just keep talking about it and I'm very excited for it, but if you could have your dream guest, who would it be?
Oh.
Because maybe one of our listeners knows this person. Let's just put it out into the universe, see if it comes back to us.
I wish I could have had time to prepare. Do you have somebody in mind already?
I do.
Tell me yours.
But I didn't have it prepared before this. It's not even on our little like note sheet. I would say Greta Gerwig.
Oh, yes.
Because I know we tried. We had a moment where we might have tried a little bit to get her this season, but maybe next season she'll somehow come into our universe. Her or, my fave, Joe Cole.
Yes, Joe Cole. One day he'll come on. I have a good feeling.
Yeah.
Who would be my dream? Oh my God. I'm really bad at this game. Oscar Isaac.
Ooh.
He would be fun.
One.
He'd be fun.
He would.
Yeah.
I'd be so interested to hear his stories. I don't really know because he's kind of an enigma.
Yeah.
He doesn't put a lot out there of like, one, how he kind of got into the industry, but also like who he is. He doesn't have a ton out there.
Yeah, because I just remember his big
who I
breakout.
thought you were going to say?
Pedro Pascal?
Yes.
I don't want to become so obvious. My goodness. No, I would also love like Bryce Dallas Howard. I feel like she's really interesting. Like who she's become. I think is really interesting. Just sort of like the different branches of who she is.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I actually was on set with her a lot on The Help.
Yeah.
And she was so lovely and so kind. And now that she's kind of like diversifying, and I mean, I know she's had kids since then and all, her star's just risen, but she is such a fascinating thing considering who her dad is. Like, it's just this amazing, she seems very humble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think her evolution is so interesting. Even just like the work that she's done on was it Andor that she did?
I think so. Yeah.
And The Mandalorian. So like just to see her sort of dip into that side of things and to do it very well. Because, people can jump in and fall flat on their face. And we all tend to hear about it eventually.
Yeah.
But like she's really done very well. And she's really talented on multiple fronts. And so she would be someone I would be interested in talking to too.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Duplass brothers.
Oh.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
See, we can do this all day.
We can do this all day. What our listeners don't do is we do this all day, all the time.
Well, cheers.
Cheers to that. Well, cheers to season 2, and we'll see you then.
See you then. Bye.
Cheers.